What's up, guys? How are you? Look at where I'm at right now. So, things have changed since Friday. Wow, one person in here already. That was quick, man. 18 seconds. Wow. Um, so, this basically is the update with the angel or highly advanced being that showed up at the truck stop for me on Friday. It wasn't a very loving experience. I mean, hey there. Um, it was a informational meeting is basically what it was. Hi Marie, I'm glad you're home. um, but it was an urgent meeting, and I wasn't going to do anything because I got here where I'm at right now, and I'll tell you where I'm at. And I had a gut feeling when the angel was talking to me, or whoever this being was, 111 on the timestamp. um, I was praying that it wasn't what it was, but it is. So I was in considerable amount of pain the last 2 days. It's kind of subsided a little bit. I just saw an angel walk through the room um, about 5 minutes ago as I was getting ready to go on. Um, so, as you know, I'll briefly go over what took place on Friday. And as you can see, I'm not in a car anymore. Um, there you go. So, Friday morning, got up, doing my normal routine. I had gotten up to go to the bathroom, and when I got into the restroom, there was a being in there. I don't know if everybody else seemed to see him or not. They disregarded him in any capacity. I noticed him instantly. I felt him. He locked eyes with me. I locked eyes with him. I went to the bathroom. He met me at the counter or to wash my hands, and then he was gone. And then when I turned around, he's gone. Then he was out in the lobby, and I kind of smiled at him and walked by, right? And then he walked past my vehicle and was just staring at me, and then pulled up, and we had our conversation. And he talked about some sexual things that I didn't talk about at first, because my sexual energy had been um, coming to fruition again. I was like, where is this coming from? And he asked me something. He said he knew a girl, and I'm like, no, I'm not interested, right? And I said, there's somebody I love deeply. Um, and then we started talking about some things, but the point was, he says, we started talking about some things, and it was about spirituality and stuff. And he was talking to me, and he says, Jason, you're not teaching me anything. And I'm like, there he goes again, Jason. I said, I never mentioned in my head, I'm like, and he says, you're not teaching me anything. And I said, I don't need to teach you anything. I can feel you. Who are you? Right? You're an angel. You're an ascended master. He goes, I'm human, just like you. I said, no, you're not. Who are you? And he said, you need to move now. He said, you are in alignment and you are powerful. You need to move. And I said, who are you? I said, I said, go where? Move where? What? And he said, somebody needs you. Who? And I'm like, and again, he reiterated this. You need to move now. Move. And I'm like, move where? And he was showing me how to do some things, and he said, you are powerful. You are in alignment. And I'm like, I can, all right, and I'm getting emotional with what he's talking and teaching me these things, right? And I said, who are you? And he said, Jason. Again, he reiterated my name. He said, you put me here. He said, this is an illusion. I said, I know it is. I said, look out there. And he turns around and looks. I said, that everybody that you're seeing is me. I said, I know this is a dream. I said, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I said, the angel, in 2023 said, would you be willing to relocate to Sacramento with this amount of funds? And he goes, that's the past that doesn't exist. I said, then what am I doing here? Why did my life collapse? Why did it fall apart? I said, so something brought me here, and I'm here. And he said, somebody needs you. You need to move. I'm like, so this was Friday, right? And we went through these things. Didn't tell me who needs me, didn't say where I needed to go. It was a reiteration of constantly being, you're in alignment, you need to move, someone needs you. And he said again, you sent me here, you put me here. And I'm like, I mean, I understood what he was talking about, and I'll get into that in a minute, right? So he pushes my curtains that I had in my car off to the side, and he's looking at it, and he says, he's looking at me, he says, you need nice clothes for an interview. And I'm like, interview? And he was like, he said, you don't talk about spirituality in this interview. And I'm like, okay. And I said, okay. And he says, you need to go now. And I'm like, go where? Frustration is already built up. And my intuition told me, and it was a gut wrenching feeling, that I needed to go to Sacramento. Right. So this was Friday, the 3rd. The 6th, I started applying for jobs, thinking I could sit around in that same area. I'd be okay. I don't need to. I thought that by applying for jobs, because he was talking about an interview, I went out and bought some clothes, some things like that. So I have a good interview, things set up. Right. So I started applying for jobs, applied to like 20 jobs, and I'm still applying to jobs. I wake up Sunday morning. Okay. This phone would not work. Everybody else is talking on their phones. Everybody else is going through. I had someone message me or try to message me, and the phone wouldn't come through. I couldn't connect to the internet. I couldn't make phone calls. It instantly hung up on me. All right. For a good 2 hours. And I knew right away what I had to do, what he meant by, Jason, you need to move. All right. Prior to this, when I was in meditation one night, I heard 1 more week, clear as day. Somebody said 1 more week. Well, it ended up being 2. What he meant by 1 more week was, now you're beginning your, excuse me, your alignment and your manifestations are now manifesting into the physical world. And I was told, you need to integrate. And I'm like, integrate? What the hell does that even mean? Integrate what? And it was integrate your knowledge in learning and become established. So when I'm talking to this angel or this person that I put in my life to get me start, it's kind of like a push, go, right? And I'll talk about how that works in a minute. And I said, when he talked about this girl again, I said, no, there's somebody here that I love, my twin flame. And I said, no, she is the only one I will ever be with. And I said, I know she's coming. I said, I can feel her life disintegrating all around her. Her marriage is failing. Everything is failing. And I said, she's going to meet me here. And he said, yes. I said, when? He said, when you're established. And I'm like, what the fuck does established mean? What does that mean? What does integrate and being established mean? I don't, I was left with so many more questions than I got answered, right? And then he turned around, he said, Jason, you need to move. He got in his car and disappeared. All right. And he was not from here. He was from Argentina. He had a thick Argentinian accent, and he was older than me, probably in his 60s, right? Grayish little scraggly beard, but he knew me. Hey, Verena. But he knew me very well. And I will get into how he knew me, because I've been thinking about this for 2 days. So this was Friday morning, 7. It was probably a good 40-minute. And in a room, I'm excited for this update. Next level soul rising. Hey, yeah, this is not normally. I was going to do it on Friday, but I'm like, you guys need to see the dark side of what takes place when you go through a spiritual awakening and an ascension. And I'm having severe ascension symptoms again, but you guys need to see this. All right. You need to see what goes on. It's not butterflies and puppy dogs and kitten cats. It's brutal. It's painful. It's it's beyond anything you can possibly imagine. All right. So this took place for 40 minutes. All right. Then got up, I went and got some clothes, a nice pair of pants, a nice shirt, picked up some hygiene supplies, and so on and so forth. Right. And then I started applying for jobs. Saturday rolled around. Everything was fine. I woke up Sunday morning. This was non existent. It would not work. And there's somebody in this room who we tried to communicate for probably a good hour. And the phone would just instantly disconnect. It would shut off, wouldn't connect to the internet. I couldn't get it to work. And I knew in that hour of trying that what get up and move and went. And as you can see, I'm not in my car anymore. All right. I am now in Sacramento, and halfway up to Sacramento, about 5-10 minutes out of the truck stop and on I-5 going north to Sacramento, my phone began to work. All right. Now it worked there for 2 months straight without a problem. No problems. Now they shut it off. Remember when I was in Flagstaff and when I was in Prescott? Let's Go was that guy. That guy next level is a good person. You are all great. You're all beautiful. And I love you all. You're all perfect. But when I was in Prescott at the campsite, they got me sick, right? My genitals started to hurt. I got sick, throwing up, brutal headaches like I've been having here now for the last 2 days. I got here yesterday afternoon, and I got another day today. But it was the same thing. They shut down my phone. They made it absolutely clear that I needed to leave. Okay. So I got up and left. 10 minutes into the drive, working beautifully. So that was, I needed to get up and go, which I'm in Sacramento, guys. And I'm in a Best Western. And I began to apply for jobs. Last night was brutal. I had a brutal headache. My lower back is in excruciating pain. My hips are in excruciating pain. It's hard to walk. It's hard. I didn't sleep at all last night. I tossed and turned, but it was beautiful. I took a shower for the first time in 2 months, and it was kind of gross, but the water was black, and not what you want to hear. Again, part of spiritual awakening, when you are aligned to your higher self. And that is what that person said. Jason, you are aligned and powerful. You need to move. Somebody needs you. And I'm like, who? Where? I mean, like, am I supposed to? I said, I thought I came out here to be the teacher. And he says, there are more ways to help and get to that specific point. So I said, so what you're telling me is I got to go back into an old job in a factory or do something. And it was kind of like, or into an old part of what I used to do. And he said, yes, somebody needs you. I mean, it was stressed. No smiles, no loves, no puppy dogs, no ice cream cones. It was brutally stressed to me that I needed to move, come here and help this person that is needing me, right? And I'm like, and as I was laying here earlier in so much pain, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go live. You guys need to see what's going on. You guys need to see what I go through on a daily basis. All right. And just before I walked on, I was talking to somebody. There was a white figure walked right behind me. It was like swish. I'm like, okay, I'm right where I need to be. So when I got here yesterday afternoon, I couldn't check in yet. I had to wait 2 or 3 hours. I went to the Denny's right next to me, right? I got the receipt. It was for a stupid little breakfast. It was $30, right? But when I looked at the number, it was blah, 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 7777. Absolute confirmation. And if it looks where it says, I mean, it said everything I needed to know, right? I walked into the hotel room, the microwave, 0000. More confirmation that I am right where I need to be. Now, the stressful part is I don't know where I'm supposed to go or who I'm supposed to talk to, guys. I can maybe stay in this hotel room one more night. They here in Sacramento, they do not allow you to sleep at truck stops. They will forcibly remove you by the police. How do I know this? 2 months ago, that's what happened to me. All right. So am I kind of stressing about it? A little bit. Am I angry? No, but I have no more money. Okay. I mean, I used it up on these 2 nights here in the hotel room. And I flat out told them I will not sleep in my vehicle anymore. I said, so let's, as Verena just said, let's go. I need to know. So this morning, I got a phone call for a job interview. All things work out. If everything works out, that's at the end of the month. Well, that does me no good. Is that where I'm supposed to be? I don't know. I filled out some more job applications off and on today, right? As I was pacing back and forth in this little tiny room. Got another phone interview tomorrow morning, working with autistic kids. Who am I supposed to meet? I don't know. Who am I supposed to help? I don't know, but it's urgent that I be here. All right. And they made damn sure that I came here. Now they know I can't sleep in my vehicle. There's no place for me to sleep. Sacramento, California is the capital of California. Okay. They do not like vagrants. They do not like them. They absolutely will kick them out wherever they're staying. Homeless people are constantly on the move here. They're not allowed to sit and stay. So I cannot live in my car. I'm out of money. I'm out of money. Where am I going to go? Who am I going to help? Okay. This is the dark side of what I have to deal with, guys. All right. The brutal pain again of my ascension symptoms. When I ate lunch, a can of Dinty Moore beef stew. Okay. I'm taking a shower. I don't feel good. I'm in pain, brutal pain. And all of a sudden, here it comes. I had to jump out of the shower. Up came the food. My lunch, threw up my lunch. All right. Laid back down in brutal pain. Brutal pain. Laid down for 2 or 3 hours, listening to binaural beats, theta waves. And they really do calm me down. All right. And I woke up. I'm like, I'm doing all right. And I had a nice 40-minute breathing session that I was doing meditation. I was just working on my breathing and just working on my breathing. And here I am. And I want you guys to see what I am going through on a daily basis when you become aligned and powerful, right? My manifestations, my new life that I created, okay, it's here. Now I have to integrate what I've learned, which means I don't know what really. Maybe it's helping this person, right? Clearly, when I help this person, all that will come in. And that's what he said. He said, when you become established, when you get that integration in and become established, your twin flame, her life, she'll be here. And I'm like, so it really boils down to the divine timing. Okay. And as I was pacing back and forth, I'm like, guys, I mean, when I say guys, I'm talking to the non-physical. And I said, listen, pal, that's how I talk to Father. Listen, pal. Okay. You see my bank account. Okay. I need flowage. I need something, right? I can't live in my car. They won't allow it. So you guys got to figure this shit out. Okay. I can do it one more night here. After that, I am flat out broke. All right. And now this is what I have to worry about, guys. I don't know who I'm supposed to help, but it's going to happen. And it's all in what they call divine timing. So like I said, just before getting on, there was a white figure that walked right by me, a wisp. I saw it just walk right on by, right through the camera. I turn around, it's gone. So clearly this is where I need to be. So I read a comment on a spiritual awakening group this morning from someone wishing for a near-death experience just for the experience of it. And as a fellow NDE, it's not all fun and games at time. No. And when you go through your ascension process into the new earth, okay, I'm already there, the 5D. All right. It's simply an awareness. Your consciousness has risen to a higher level. That's what 5D means. So anybody that is having an issue not understanding what 5D is, it's simply you're going from a 3D consciousness, a really low vibrational state, to a much higher frequency, a 5D. Okay. You are becoming in a human terms, far more intelligent. You're more aware. You are rising big time. Okay. Now, many of you will not. My ascension was in 2023 into that. It was brutal. And the feelings that I'm having now are those same ascension symptoms: brutal back pain, brutal hip pain and joint pain, right? Sickness, being extremely tired, brutal headaches right now. All right. Like I said, when I ate lunch, I got out of the shower, puked it all back up. Same thing I was doing in 2023, right? That's what's happening to me now. It's like round two of a higher form of alignment taking place. And maybe that's why they needed me up here so I could lay down and relax. I don't know. But as I told you guys, my funds are out. All right. Good interview this morning. Got one tomorrow, working possibly with autistic kids. Maybe is it an autistic kid that needs me? I don't know. They won't let me know. I just have to follow through with what they're asking me. And that is basically, ladies and gentlemen, blind faith. Do you believe? And as next level, he knows exactly what I am talking about. 2121. Imagine that. And that's why I came on here tonight. I want you guys to see where I'm at. I'm in a hotel room in Sacramento at a Best Western. Possibly can do it for another night. When I got the room this morning, okay, because I said, well, I said, I'm not living in the car. So you listen, pal, you need to figure this shit out. I said, but I'm staying here. I'm not living in the car. I'm not going to get run out by the police. So I went down there. They charged my room $77.75, 777. Same thing that was on the receipt, 7777, right? So it's a clear indication that this is where I need to be. So I told them, you got to get somehow funds rolling in here because Jason's tapped out. Okay, guys. So this is the brutal side of when you awaken from your NDE, when you ascend into a higher form of consciousness, when you are awakened, that dark night of the soul, when your life now is completely destroyed, gone, forever gone. Your manifestations that I've been working on, I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm so sorry, hon. I forgot. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry, hon. I love you. I'm so sorry. So hitting us lately. Maybe that's what it is. I'm very sensitive to energy and it's been brutal lately from pain, vertigo, anxiety, restlessness, legs, and fatigue. Yeah, love that. See the numbers times like that, and I'm up. Yep. So I keep forgetting, honey. So please forgive me. She understands that those are messages from the divine, from home. You're right where you need to be. Who gives a real shit? Some people look it up and it was like, you are exactly where you need to be. You are in complete alignment. You are perfect, right? You're here where you need to be. So quadruple sevens, triple sevens. When I got in the hotel room, quadruple zeros. When I was meditating before I got in, took a shower, it was 555 last night. Even though I'm not going out and seeing things, they are popping up all around me in what limited space I have. Seeing the app or the person walk by me just now, I'm where I need to be. So I want you guys to see this, that this is what I go through, and after I hang up here in an hour and go, now your mind starts to wander. And when it starts to wander, I'm like, nope, I'm going to go sit and meditate. I will work on my breathing and I'll say, I'm right where I need to be. I am exactly right where I need to be. Everything is fine. I'm perfect. I'm safe. I'm secure. I'm loved. And this is where I need to be. Is it frustrating? Somebody here listening right now, she got the brunt of it when she was listening. I was screaming. There's nothing here. That's great advice, by the way. What's that? What, Rena? Okay. Let go of your worries. I know this does not sound wise, but it's helped me so much. Remember when I asked you this summer about when you were at your boiling point and you told me to let go? Yep. And I did. I mean, and what I'm asking the Holy Spirit to also do, which is Mother, okay, is I said, I'm surrendering the rest of my darkness to you. What remaining darkness I have, I'm giving to you. Okay. So now when you do that, the Holy Spirit takes it from you. But when you get angry, when you get frustrated, that is the release of that dark energy that is being drawn out. And it is going to come out, and they understand that. Okay. So when I kind of had my frustration, when I gave them the works a couple months ago, right? It's the same thing. There's nothing for me there. There's nothing there for, I can't sleep anywhere. You know, all of that dark energy is being brought out of me, okay, and released. And that is why that angel, whoever that person said, Jason, you are in alignment and you're powerful. It is this dark energy, the little bit that remains in me, is being brought to the surface. And when that happens, I'm going to get angry. I'm going to get upset. I'm going to feel frustrated, right? Because it's being brought to the surface and removed. So you are going to experience those things. And that is what I am experiencing, because I've been asking the Holy Spirit to remove the remaining darkness within me. And when the angel was here, he told me to put my hand like this on my thigh and over my heart. And he said something different, but it's basically the same thing. He says, you are the light of the world, right? You are the light of the world. That darkness is being brought to the surface, and now it is being fulfilled with the light and the love that I am of my Father. So those energies are coming to the surface, and it came out as frustration when I was quite vocal with Father. There's nothing for me here. I can't sleep anywhere. I don't have $1 million in the bank. Okay. I said, I'm not sleeping. There's nowhere for me to go. I've got to get a hotel room. All right. I've got to. $170 went. And then today, 77, 75. I said, I'm okay. All right. Well, now you have me at the complete and total breaking point, guys. There's nothing left. There's nowhere for me to go. And now I see an angel walk through. So, you know, this is why I came on tonight, to show you guys the brutality of what it is like to have a near-death experience and start to ascend, to start moving. My body, as Next Level, she knows that your body is being reformed on a cellular level, a genetic level. It's painful. It's mind-numbingly painful. Your body is being inundated with a higher frequency light vibration, and it hits you in the spine, and it hits you in your lower back, and it's brutally painful. All right. So this is what it does. You, as Next Level says, you went from the carbon-based body into the crystalline body, and now I'm moving into the light body. It sucks. It hurts. And this is what it is. There's I don't even know what to say. My frustration level is beyond anything I've ever known, right? But then it boils down to, like if you know the Bible, the story of the bleeding woman, right? If I can only touch the fringe of his garment, he won't be unclean. That's how stupid it was back then with women and their menstrual cycles. But she was bleeding constantly, right? So as she got to him, she fell down and grabbed the very fringe of his garment, right? And she stopped bleeding instantly. For 14 years, she bled constantly, uncontrollably. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like. That would be maddening, right? And then Jesus has this wonderful conversation with you, and he said, you're not unclean. And he said, it wasn't the fringe of my garment that healed you. It was your faith, her undying belief and faith that if she just touched the fringe of his clothing, that she would be healed. It is that kind of faith, guys, that I have, that I am here in this room, that I know everything will be okay and is okay. And this is the integration that is now taking place. So whoever I am meant to be with, whoever I am going to be with, is going to happen. That is the kind of faith I have. Is it frustrating? Sure. Am I allowed to vent? Of course. because this isn't a, learning the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. This is beyond PhD level crap that most of society, 99.8% of them, are lost in their own stupid dream, right? They think that what they're experiencing is real, right? Now, Next Level Soul and I, we both know what we went through and what our bodies are going through, and the ascension and the rising that we are doing. The rest of you guys, you're becoming aware of it, but you're not going through it. Maybe some of you are, I don't know. But from what I am going through, I want you guys to visually see it. I want you guys to understand that I am going through more than what you guys could ever possibly understand or imagine, where your daily lives are, have a shower, go this, get your job, I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know where I'm going to eat next. I don't know where money's coming from next. I don't know anything except I'm being blindly led along because somebody needs me here and I needed to move now. Well, 2 days later, here I am moved. And I want you guys to see that. I want you to understand the pain that I am literally physically going through right now in this moment. Right now, when I had meditation before I left, the pain has subsided quite a bit in my back and my hips and my thighs and knees for a little bit. But that doesn't mean that it won't pick up in the next session, right? But that's what I wanted you guys to see today, is that this is what happened after my live on Friday, right? Saturday, woke up, had that one day, jobs, went, got some clothes. Sunday morning, everything was shut down. No electronics would work, nothing. And I knew. To Sacramento I go. Just like that angel in 2023. Jason, would you be willing to relocate to Sacramento? And I said, yeah, sure. For that amount of money, remember, it was $110,000 a month. So when I mentioned it to that guy, he said, that's a byproduct of what you will be doing. So a byproduct means, yes, that money is coming, but it's going to be in a roundabout way. So let's see. It's hard to. The only pain I feel constantly is in my chest. It's like it's hard to breathe. Are you a smoker? Do you smoke? Do you? It is the faith, right? And that's what Jesus said. He said, it wasn't me that healed you. It was your faith, your undying faith and belief that if you just touched me or got to see me, that you would be healed, right? So it wasn't a piece of string that she touched 2,000 years ago. It was your proof in your own self that you can heal your own body. She believes so strongly, not in this, in your mind, which is safely at home with God in heaven, in your own little space and home, sound asleep. She healed herself. We all have that capability. When I tell you, each and every one of you listening to this, and those that watch this later or find it later, this is timeless, all right? You are not special. Jesus is not special. We are all the same, of one mind. We all have the exact same capabilities that Jesus Christ had and did 2,000 years ago. She was proof. Jesus did not heal her. She healed herself through her undying faith and belief that if she just touched a piece of clothing, she would be healed. Now, Jesus didn't place his hands on her, didn't do anything, right? He said, you know what he said to her? Honey, daughter. And she said, what? I'm nobody's daughter. And he said, yes, you are. Yes, you are. And he says, you taught me something today. Thank you. Now that's coming from Jesus, right? She healed herself. We all have that ability, guys. We are nothing special. Jesus was nothing special. He was just the master. He mastered the game. He mastered the illusion. He mastered love. And when I tell you that love is everything, it is everything that is throughout the entire universe. You are that love. And that is the only thing that is real in this illusion. And he taught it 2,000 years ago, and I'm teaching it to you now. Love is all that matters. Love yourself, love your neighbor as yourself, because that neighbor sitting out there in their driveway is you. That homeless person that you drove by is you in that ditch. That person you ran into Starbucks is you. When you look around in the grocery store, those are just little versions of you all over the place. And when you can understand that, and that's why he said, Jason, you are aligned. You are aligned and powerful, because he knows everything that I'm seeing out there isn't real. I'm not real. But he said, you placed me here. So let me talk about that quick. I smoke very little and I've been quitting. Good for you. Good. It's bad for you. Bad for the body. But good for you for doing that. So let's talk about what he meant by, Jason, you put me here. What does he mean by that? If this is an illusion and this is a video game, how did I put him there at that exact moment in time, which time doesn't exist, but in that moment, how did I put him from Argentina, an older man, right? A thick, heavy accent. Put him there. And he said it 2 or 3 times. Jason, you put me here. This is an illusion. So how did I put him here? All right. This is it. Every night you guys go to bed, all right, you die. This dies without you attached to it. Remember, it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's nothing inside this thing, nothing. You are attached to it, all right, around the whole thing. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars, when you see him come back with the white and the blue shine, that's your soul. It attaches to this body. It functions. It does what you want it to do, right? Anytime you want to do it, it's doing it for you because you're controlling it. And the part of you that is controlling it is your personality. Okay, it's a personality that's been built up over hundreds and sometimes thousands of lifetimes, like me, over 3,200, right? So what happens when you leave every night? Your body is kept alive by the non-physical, by your guardian, well, not necessarily guardians, but the non-physical is keeping your body alive. You're gone. The moment you fall dead nuts asleep, right? Those theta waves come in and you're relaxed. You've let go of your conscious mind and your subconscious. You're gone. All right. You are out in different dimensions. You are out in different realities, doing whatever. But when you're doing that, you are meeting your besties. You're meeting people that need you. Okay. So in that moment of me traveling, maybe over the weekend, of, whatever, because I was asking God for help. I need help. I don't, right? So when you're out and about, you're meeting people, you're helping them like I was just helped, right? You're coming into their life and you're helping them because you can create more than just one body, guys. If I am powerful, I just don't know how to do it. I can create 5,000 versions of me that would be standing behind me. So when you're doing that, you're out helping others when you sleep. Okay. So you may be sleeping, but in their dimension, in their time, in their reality, it could be daytime. You're in their reality helping them because they've asked for help. So you come in there and you help them. In that, if he wasn't an angel, because he said, Jason, I'm human. And I'm like, no, you're not. You know everything, right? So that is the possible explanation of when he said, Jason, you put me here. I asked him, all right, to come and help me get things rolling. Because like I said, my manifestations, that career of wealth, my teaching career, all of that, it's there. It's knocking on the door, right? It's ready to roll. But until I integrate what is going on, and then he said, that person needs you. You need to move now. that was my cue that I should have packed my shit up right then and there and moved up here. All right. That is how he got there. And when he said, Jason, you put me here, this is an illusion. It's a dream, right? You put me here. I put him in the dream to get the ball rolling. And that goes back to 2 weeks ago when I was meditating, he said 1 more week. Well, to the non-physical, 1 week could be a fucking month. Clearly, 1 week means 2 weeks. Either way, the ball is now rolling. Here I am because of that encounter on the 3rd of October. I am now moved into Sacramento, into this little hotel room, and all the signs lit up, the quadruple sevens, the triple sevens, the quadruple zeros, right? All here. Walking, it's just witnessing somebody walk behind me in white. I'm right where I need to be. So they got the ball rolling. So when I placed that person in my own reality, that was kind of like The Matrix with Keanu Reeves, placing somebody in his way to give him the information, right? So that's basically what I did. I glitched the Matrix, had him come in, get me and the ball rolling, like move. And he wasn't nice about it. He wasn't smiling, OJ, No, there was none of that. It was absolute urgency. Go now. And I'm like, all right, where? And that is part of the frustration that builds up. I don't know who I'm supposed to go out to. I'm out of money. Who needs me? You just don't get a job right away, right? I can't sleep on the streets. I'll get arrested for vagrancy, thrown in the clink. Okay. That's where the frustration builds up. That's where I just get so frustrated. And it just builds and builds and builds. And now I just simply sit down and binaural beats, theta waves, and I'll sit there and practice my breathing. And I don't know, but clearly it's in some sort of past job, because I've sat there, as Verena said, I've been doing that for days, since that Friday. Who am I supposed? Who? But it will be shown to me. Okay. And what he said was like, you'll know. It'll be like a eureka moment. You'll feel it, right? Hurry up and wait. Yeah. Hurry up and wait. Look where I'm at, perplexed. Yeah. Hurry up and wait is right. So I was like, you guys, that's when I put it on them. You guys are in control, because clearly I'm not. So I don't know where to go. Sacramento's a big city. They don't like vagrants. I can't sleep on the side of the road. So something's got to give, guys. Something's got to give. So please tell me. Right. And I've been just in deep meditation since I got here yesterday, because I was in so much pain. Took those showers, felt wonderful. Had a warm meal at a restaurant, which I hadn't had in months. Yeah. Right. Think about it. But this is what I'm talking about, though. Right. It's going to be that moment of, I've rewritten the contract, guys. Okay. And it's here. Right. I have met the highest version of myself. Remember when I told you I blew up at God, said, all three of you can go fuck yourself. Right. I moved up there. I'm here. And I got run out by the police. Now what happened? Well, I messed up the timing, right? I wasn't supposed to get here until the end of August, right? So I went through September, and now in October, they got the ball rolling. So I only would have had to endure 3.5 weeks of crap, or a month of it, right? So I would have gotten here in September, basically. And then 3 weeks, because it's now the beginning. So 3 weeks. Okay, of what they wanted me to do. Nothing, relax. And that's what I did. Nothing and relax. Well, when it's 102 degrees in your car and you've got no money, can't go anywhere, you become frustrated. And then I lashed out. They gave me that very lucid dream. They showed me teaching. They showed me living a billionaire's lifestyle. Okay. Having everything I've ever wanted. That is what is waiting for me. But now it's like, it's Christmas Eve, right? And you wake up and you're, as a little kid, and you're jonesing all day for Santa Claus. Okay. And then you're just jonesing. You even won't go to bed at night. Right. So it's, and that's what it is. I'm at the door. I'm at the threshold. Right. And it's not knowing that is the most frustrating part. And that's the part that would be easy, because if you knew where to go and who to talk to, it'd be like coming here, right? Knowing what you're supposed to do and how to do it, you would go do it instantly. Why? Because you want to come back home. Did you see that light? Right over the shoulder. I mean, right over the shoulder. Did you see that? Wow. So the whole point of you forgetting coming into this dream and reality world is so that you wouldn't go do what you needed to do right away and get it over and done with. That's the whole point, right? Is I have to immerse myself in this and completely and totally surrender. And I have. And that's why he said, it's time to go. You need to move. And then began the brutal pains. Now, how could I be in this much brutal pain when I should have been in that kind of pain in the Jeep? And I'm not. But as soon as I got to here, instantly, right? And that's them working their magic. So you are richer in character than some billionaire with money. You are a sweetheart. Practicing non-attachment has been one of the hardest things for a human side to let go of. Yep. Not the material stuff, but the worries or the timing and releasing the desire for control. And that's it, right? And that's basically what it is. And that's where my frustration is coming from, right? So I know now this is the third time I've seen somebody walk by, or a flash of light means my vibration is way up there. So, and that's the hardest thing is to let go of that fear. And it's not really fear anymore. It's just, I'm ready for it to be over, guys. I am ready for this to be over. I am exhausted. I'm in pain. I'm tired. I spent most of today on a phone interview looking for jobs, dealing with pain, trying to meditate in and out of the shower, got sick after I ate lunch. It's the same shit that I went through in my ascension. And it's just, as she said, next level. It's hard. It's something you guys just don't understand. Yeah, life will do that, hon. We are all a little exhausted. Amen. And what have I been doing for 2 months? Nothing. Right. In different ways, right? Mine isn't from physical, it's from body changes. It's from being redesigned on the inside. And that comes with severe pain. So, but that's why I came on live tonight. I want you guys to see what I'm going through in literal time, not me explaining it over a week later, right? I want you to see what's going on and why. So, anybody have any questions? I ranted for 48 minutes. So, anybody got anything for me? Oh, I'm in so much pain. And I wanted you to see that I'm here in Sacramento, right where in 2023 they told me I needed to be. What's my favorite drink? Water. I don't drink anymore alcohol. God does not want us drinking. The only thing that should go in our bodies is water. Soda wise, I don't drink. I did, however, in the first time in a very long time when I went out to Denny's, I had a Dr. Pepper and I didn't even finish it all. So I don't drink juice. The only thing 100% of the time is water. I put Mia flavored coloring in there, but other than that, it's 100% water. Nothing else. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't, smoke pot. Here in California, weed is legal. There's dispensaries all over, so you can get it. And it's recreational. You can't do it while you drive. But when I was at that truck stop in Lodi, people would stop by all the time, get out, and they would just be smoking away. Right. And it's just, no, everything when I began after my near death experience, everything began health-wise. Hi, Nicholas. Oh, thank you. I love you, brother. I do. Thank you for showing up. Um, so yeah, it's just water. And unfortunately, this is the kind of food that I eat. Just generally one can of these a day. And if you can see the calorie wise, that's what I get a day. So, and what I had today was 200 calories, but that came back up into the toilet. So, do you know that Plead was planted here on Earth? Oh, yeah, the Native American. What do you think the Native Americans were smoking in their peace pipe? They were all high, you know, from an off worlder. It's entirely possible. I'm not alone. You aren't alone, Jason. I just had my marriage of 10 years basically end in a way that blindsided me in my home. Is provided, thankfully, from my daughter, and I'll be 49 on the 9th. So I'm there. Yeah. I mean, you understand what I'm saying, right? Now, I know my home is coming. All right. I know all of that is coming to fruition. What he said was, Jason, you need to integrate. And your twin flame, the love that if you watched my NDE guys, I won't mention her name, but I said, please don't take her from me. Please don't take her from me. Let me hold her hand. Let us kiss. Let us make love. Let it, please. And it was in that moment that my near-death experience happened. And now, if you all know what a twin flame is, it's basically one soul that father split, right? It's kind of like identical twins. Now, we're all mirrors to each other, but in reality, she is the other half of my own consciousness. And that is why we are direct mirrors of each other. That's why she said out of nowhere, we are so interconnected and we just met. That's because we found each other. Our consciousness, or my consciousness, or hers as well, became one again, right? So everything felt normal. I could finish her sentences. She could finish my sentences. Our intimacy was off the charts. And even though we were both married, God clearly doesn't care about your marriage. So, and I'm telling you, so we split up for a reason. I had to go through what I needed to go through, right? My death, my ascension, my awakening, all of this. And in that process, will become integrated and established in a multi-million-dollar lifestyle, which is coming, or $1 billion lifestyle. Somebody here is going to see me. So that person that I see, which was what he was talking about, it's going to come up through and around. It's like when you pull a bow back, right? Sometimes you have to take a couple steps back into what you thought was gone in order to be launched forward. So that's the way I'm looking at this moment now. It's like the bow is drawn back, right? I'm being launched forward into this person, propelled into this person's life, to learning to trust and let go. Yeah. So that's what's taking place with me now. So, but it was urgent, and it's very urgent, because my integration and my establishment is here, meaning that I rewrote my soul contract, guys. Remember when I did that video a couple of weeks ago, how to change your soul contract? You have to do it a certain way. Well, that's what I was doing for 2 years, when finally somebody, Jason, you need to meditate. And I'm like, fine. And it was the best thing ever. I learned how to control my breathing. I learned how to talk with Father. I learned so much, right? And it's not that I expect anything out of meditation. I like the fact that I can truly quiet my mind. And this is what the old man said too. He said, Jason, when you're meditating, he said, in between that talking or whatever, and you have that moment of absolute silence, he said, that silence where nothing is taking place is when you are connected truly to your Father. In that moment of nothingness is your connection to home. And he said, you have mastered that. You are mastering that. So today, when I woke up from this nap, and I'm like, no stress, I'm going to sit here and meditate. And I just began to focus in on my breathing. And then there would be like 10 or 15 seconds of utter silence. And that is the connection to home, to Father. And that is why I do it. When I got done with that meditation, my back didn't hurt as much. My sides didn't hurt as much. My leg, now they're still very sore, but they're not excruciating where I was almost to the verge of tears all day Sunday and most of today. So that's why I meditate, because now those manifestations, that is coming. It's here. I just have to integrate. And then when I integrate is my being established in my new career. So something very powerful is going to happen when I meet this person. There's no other explanation to why the utter urgency that I get here and kind of step back into a job field that is dead. That is to simply help this person urgently. So learning to trust and let go. I'm looking forward to seeing more of your story unfold. Sending love and light to you all. It's my meditation time. Bye, sweetie. I love you. Thank you for showing up. I will be meditating before I go to bed tonight because it's only 5:56 here. So look at that on her timestamp, 5:55. I love you, sweetie. Thank you. 555. There's another angel number. There it is. More synchronicities, guys. All right, guys. Anybody got anything? We got like 4 minutes. I'm doing all right, Nicholas. It's a ride. It's a journey. I don't even know. You know, like I explained earlier, it's the frustration, because as this species wants to control everything, because we've been brought up and we've been raised that way. We were taught wrong, right? So we're constantly wanting to move. We're constantly wanting to do something. We're constantly waiting for that result. It's like when you go and you want to order something off Amazon, right? You get onto Amazon, you can have it there next day. We're used to instant gratification. So when you become awakened and aligned, you're waiting. And that is the hardest thing for the species to do, is to wait. We want that instant gratification. We want our partner to come over right now. We want that orgasm right now. We want that new thing. We want to go grocery. We want to do this. And right now I am in that do absolutely nothing. I'm here. And now I had those job interviews. I got a job interview, a phone interview anyway, tomorrow morning too. But as I told Father, my funds are out. I can't buy any more food, no more gas. I need you. And then you have to let that go. But your mind, what does it want to do? It wants to sit and fuss. It wants to sit there and say, where's this money going to come from? Jason, if you get kicked out of here, you can't stay here. And I know if I try and go back to that truck stop, right, there's one north of me too, a little bit, by about 30 miles. If I go there, they're going to shut this down. They're going to shut everything down or get me sick like I've been until I come back to Sacramento. But where do I go when I get here? I don't know. That's where the frustration builds up. And that's why I want you guys to see in living time what I am going through, right? And I'm going to try and eat something, probably this can of green beans, because that's all I have. So that's my dinner. 15 calories. I can't go out and get a pizza. I can't go out and get a meal. I just not there right now. But I want you guys to see what it's like for somebody to go through a near-death experience, to become ascended into a higher form of consciousness, to go through the dark night of the soul, the awakening, the ego death, and to see in real time the meeting with the angel on Friday. You need to move, you need to go, right? You're in alignment, you're powerful, and here I am, because they shut down all my phone services, got me sick, and more high vibrational light energy is coming in, and it's messing with my body. And here I am. So just want to say that I'm glad I can say you are a true friend. Oh, sweetie, I'm so happy that you have that unconditional love for everyone. I love you all so very much. That's why I do this. I don't have to. I know what's taking place. I know everything that I'm seeing is nothing more than a figment of my imagination. When you guys wake up from a nightmare screaming or full of sweat, and you look up, oh, Oh, it's just a nightmare. You haven't woken up from the nightmare yet. You haven't woken up from the dream. You had a dream within a dream, kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street. Remember having a dream and then you're right. That's what this is. So I love all of you. I don't have to do this at all. This became a passion. I knew it instantly when I came home, what my career was, what I needed to do in this three-dimensional world. And I'm aligned with that. That is teaching, being a teacher of God. I have surrendered all idols. There are no more false idols in my life. I don't care for a car. I don't care for a house. I don't care for clothing. I don't care. The only thing on my altar is my Father, and I will do my Father's will. And this is what he asked me to do, to go through this brutal life, to go through it, to go through this, what I just went through these last 5 years, to end up at this point. There's nothing on this altar but my Father. Am I in here? I'm in Sacramento, buddy. There's nothing here. There's nothing. And this is where they want me. It's been made abundantly clear that this is where they want me. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I can't go anywhere. And that's where the frustration is. That's just where my frustration is right now. So, and what is BLM, buddy? It's free to stay. You know what? I can look that up and see if there are. I mean, that would be great. If that's the case, then that would be great. But I'm going to type that in now. So you guys can ask a question. What does that mean? Bureau of Land Management. I'll look at that. Yesterday, let's see, Bureau of Land Management. Yep. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift, because that is correct. And that's why Jesus said, Black Lives Matter. They're all over the West. I will check that out, definitely. If that's the case, then I'm on my way. Without question. I will check that out. BLM campgrounds in Sacramento, California. We'll see. Chat GPT. We'll find out. They're all over the West. Sacramento River Bend area, Northern California. There's a Reading Island Group campground there. Communes River Preserve is a BLM site about 20 miles south of Sacramento. However, camping is not allowed there. It is a day use only. Nope, nothing around me. Other than way up north, and that is by Mount Shasta, and that's like 4 hours north of me. So that's an absolute no-go. They want me in Sacramento. And it's just a place I don't want to be, guys. It's the capital of California, and they want it to be that way. They don't want to see vagrants. They don't want to see homeless people. And you should see all the homeless people here, all the drug addicts. It is beyond excruciating. It is just horrific to see this kind of destitute taking place in the supposedly the most, glorious state in the United States, right? The most expensive state, over $5 a gallon for gas. So to see me traveling I can't do that. I'm out of funds. So anyway, no campsites around. So I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, that's where I'm at, guys. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up on, definitely unannounced. and I'm beyond honored. So thank you. I wanted you guys in real time to see what I am going through in real time. I was just too sick last night and tired, and I just couldn't do it. I was thinking about it, but here it is. I will see you guys Friday night. They don't want me doing too many videos, but if there's a video or a topic that you want me to talk about it, put it down there. I don't know where I'll be or what's going on. But, and for all of those that do want to donate, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Okay. What's your question, hon? That would be most definitely appreciated. What's your question, hon? When you went to heaven, did you see anyone around with like a tattoo? No, I was basically in mine. If you watch my NDE, go to my website or go to my YouTube channel, Love and Light Jason, okay? And then scroll all the way down to my videos and you'll see You're Not Alone, which is I talk about my near-death experience. Nothing gets edited out of that. So no, I was basically, when I left my body, I was at the top of the ceiling. I could see everything around me, 360 degrees, instant knowledge. I knew where I was, who was in the corner of my room. I could see the souls of the grass and the trees. I could see every blade of grass independently. I could see the serrations in every blade of grass. Same thing with the tree. I could feel their love. Everything was given to me. Everything was there. But I was kept in that ICU room. But I did not see anything other than all of that. I could see through all the walls. I could see through everything. 365 degree division or 360 degree vision instantly. And it started from behind me. So when it started, I could see all the nozzles and the valves and the pressure valves and stuff. I could see everybody in their rooms being ministered to and dying. I could see the nurses' stations. I could see them. But mind you, I'm still looking off to the left, but I'm seeing all of this all at once, right? Seeing the grass, seeing the trees, seeing the most magnificent colors. It was beyond beautiful. It was amazing to see and experience what I was happening. I mean, again, it profoundly changed my life. And that's when I came back. And when I came back, I was pissed off. I was like, I've been lied to my whole life. Everything was a lie here. Everything was an illusion. Everything was just bullshit. And where it started from was I got pissed off at the church. I was lied to. There is no such thing as hell. There is no demons. There is no fallen angel. It is impossible because we are all one. When I joined with the light, when I was ensconced in that light, right, and that love, I joined with it and became one with it. I became one with the Father. I was one with everything. Okay? Hold on a second. Who is it? Hi. Thank you. Let me get you the dirty ones. Okay. Thank you, honey. Sorry, guys, new towels. So I became one with the Father. So when Jesus said this 2 millennia ago, I and the Father are one, absolutely. There is nothing else, guys. There is nothing else. You are all one with the Father. You are all of one mind, one consciousness, one cosmic being, whatever you want to call them, source, God, all that is. I am. That is exactly what I experienced. Was what Jesus talked about, one with the Father. It was that was it. It was nirvana. I mean, it was a love that you will never find here. It's impossible to even remotely describe. Unconditional does nothing. I was loved in a way that is beyond comprehension to any of you. And if Soul was here, she would know exactly what that is about. right? And that's why her marriage is failing. That's why everything is failing. Nothing can hold up to those standards. Right. So, that's when 2 years after my own near death, right, I had a profound out of body experience. I was still grieving. I was still mad that I was back around this body. And I was yelling at God, why did you keep me in the ICU room? Why couldn't I go through the tunnel? Why couldn't I come home? Right? Mad. Now, why should I be mad? I had the most beautiful experience of my life and I'm pouting like a little 2 year old. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was beyond depressed. Depressed doesn't even come close to what I was talking about. Okay. So on the way from my bedroom down a small little hall onto the couch took maybe 20 seconds. I was pulled out of my body, pulled into a tunnel at the speed of light into the void. You hear people talk about this. I was pulled into the void, moving at a tremendous amount of speed, faster than the speed of light, right? And the tunnel began to oscillate, and then grayish white light came through like a spiral. I was inundated with love. Now, when you could see, again, 360-degree vision, right? There was nothing. It was a void of utter blackness, an incomprehensible void. No sight, no sound, no smell, no nothing. But off in the distance, as I'm looking through this tunnel, is this tiny pinprick of light, just this little white blip in the middle of this vast oceanness of darkness. And I was being drawn to it. And then the unconditional love began. And I'm like, he heard me. I'm going home. Right. And I'm all excited. And, I'm feeling all this love and all of this. And then next thing you know, now this light is this big. It's a little light, right? Who knows how long this has taken? Next thing I know, I see this big square of white light, beautiful white light, the same light that I experienced in my NDE. And now the white encompasses every part of being around me. There is no more darkness. There is no more void. I am right there. And I get so close to the light. I mean, I got to a nose hair away. And then I was thrown back into my body and I was back on the couch. And I'm like, he heard me. Right. So I had this profound out of body experience. 2 years later, the night DeVar Hamlin died on the football field was the last time I watched TV. That was in 2023, right? I watched him make that tackle, and I was kind of feeling weird on the couch in this apartment that I left. I saw him make that hit. I saw him take 2 steps and collapse onto the football field. And then I just laid back and I felt myself make a grunt or noise. And now I'm in a completely different dimension. Right? Like Star Wars, you see one sun here, one planet over here, right? Just like that. There was a being walking towards me, a light being, ocean off to my left, and an undeniable presence to my right. And I am just at peace, no ego. I'm home. I knew I was like, and I asked the presence, I said, who are you? And that presence said, excuse me, confirmation burps, I'm Jeffrey. I've always been with you. And I'm like, Jeffrey? I said, I can't call you Jeffrey. That's the Toys R Us giraffe. I said, how about John? And then I call him Jeffrey anyway. So I said, Jeffrey, how many times have I been here? How many times have I died? And the number was instant, over 3,200. I said, I've died over 3,200 times. He goes, and again, this was a very serious conversation. He goes, yes, you're ancient. And then I was pulled back into my body. Now, remember, I saw DeVar Hamlin take those 2 steps and collapse. Right? Now, when I came back, the whole football stadium was dark. Just a couple lights on the field. Everybody gone. Just a couple commenters. Where'd that time go? That had to be, I have no clue. But I was in that other dimension, other world, speaking with my guide for however long that was. Okay? I'm right where I need to be. And that's the kind of things that I'm talking about that are happening to me. And it's consistent and it's coming more and more and more. That is why I'm now here in this hotel room in Sacramento with not knowing what's going to happen an hour from now. I've seen this person walk through my room now 3 times, this light being. Something is going to happen. And as Next Level Soul said, let it go. And that's what I've done. So, and I'm going to leave it on this tonight, guys. I don't want it to get too long. I just wanted to share with you what is taking place in real time. Okay. I'll be on live Friday night, normal time. Don't know where it'll be, but I'll be here. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up unannounced. I am beyond honored, truly honored. I didn't get the tunnel or a visit to heaven. I was still on earth. Well, when you continue to awaken, meditate, and get there, when you guys start aligning with who you are and remembering and knowing who you are, these things are vitally important to your spiritual growth, and you will all get there. All right. I'm going to go eat my can of green beans. You are welcome, Kito Wellbeing. I love you all so very much. I do. I'm truly honored that you have been following me, that you even showed up tonight. Tonight was just going to be a rant so I could show you guys the real-time process of what is taking place in my life, so you guys can visually see what's going on and how it works, right? The non-physical shut everything down, and like when I was in Prescott, Arizona, got me sick to come to California, got me shut down my phones, got me sick to come to Sacramento because I needed to move urgently and somebody here needs me. So here I am. I love you guys. Have a blessed rest of your evening. I love you all, and I will see you in a few days from now, Friday night. I love you guys. Bye.